Men who do not have periods, please shut up and listen. If you haven't had your period yet, please don't be afraid to hear this. I'm going to tell you all about the suffering I experience on the second day of my period. On the first day of your period, there is a relatively small amount of menstrual blood. It varies from person to person and month to month, but one thing is for sure, there is more bleeding on the second day than on the first. To avoid staining your clothes, you use sanitary products such as sanitary napkins and tampons, but they're drenched in red. If you miss the right timing to change it, or if it slips off while you're moving, your clothes will be stained red. As you know, there are advertisements for sanitary products that mention use on the second night of your period. Without taking sufficient precautions, your bedding will be stained red. If it leaks and stains red, you can't remove it without washing it by hand and then putting it in the washing machine. In addition, it's difficult to remove the stains with hot water, so even in the winter, you have to wash with cold water.
The secret is Oxidol. The chemical reaction will remove it in no time.
The inconvenience of periods beats any annoying guy. The second day of your period is the peak of anemia. With so much blood flowing, of course you'll become anemic, feeling dull, getting exhausted easily, looking pale and making it hard to apply makeup well, ringing in the ears, heart pacing quickly, shortness of breath, dizziness, lightheadedness. It varies from person to person, but people tend to have these things happen. Periods are not a sickness. In fact, for young women, the absence of periods is a more worrying sign for the body. But not being sick is not the equivalent of being well. The second day of period is the peak of stomach pain. Stomach pain is also known as menstrual cramps. This pain also varies from person to person. Some people have almost no pain and don't even understand the concept of menstrual cramps. Some people can't even move because of menstrual cramps. If there's too much bleeding or if the menstrual cramps are too severe, please go to the hospital because it could be a uterine-related disease. Don't be embarrassed to go to a gynecologist or obstetrician. There's no shame in worrying about your own body. Conclusion: on the second day of our period, we don't want to move. Do you understand? On the second day of their period, women are worn out and barely keeping it together. Just getting up from a chair, rush of blood. Just by laughing, rush of blood. Just by sneezing, rush of blood. Constantly on the alert for any leaking. You have to spend all day long trying to figure out when to go to the bathroom and dealing with your poor condition. Moreover, you can't choose when you'll be in this worst condition. There are ways to control it with medication, but most people just leave it as it is. Whether it's a very important game or a very serious date, once it happens, you just have to deal with it happening. I think those who haven't had their periods yet are getting worried, but all women are getting through it somehow with their own methods. Struggling to deal with the inconvenience, but somehow managing it, makes me feel like I've grown up. I would like to say to all the men out there that if someone is feeling sick, it would be nice if you could help care for them. And to those of you who are on the second day of your periods, take care.
Thank you for watching all the way to the end. Make sure to subscribe and click the bell for notifications. Thank you for watching all the way to the end. Make sure to subscribe and click the bell for notifications.